Being the responsible one rarely feels like a problem. Most of the time, it feels necessary. Something needs to be done, and you're the one who sees it. But over time, this role changes you in ways you might not expect. It starts quietly, almost invisibly. No one wakes up and decides to carry the weight of everything. It doesn't happen with a formal announcement. Instead, it's a slow, gradual process. It begins with small moments, a task at work that no one else volunteers for, a family matter that needs organizing, a friend who needs support through a crisis. You step in because it feels right, because it needs to be done. At first, it's just helping out. Then, people notice. They see you're reliable. Your name becomes associated with getting things done. Ask them, they say. They'll know what to do. Reliability becomes expectation. What was once a choice slowly transforms into a duty. The phone calls start coming to you first. The questions are directed at you by default. You become the designated point person, not through a vote, but through a pattern of your own competence. This isn't a role you auditioned for. It was assigned quietly, one small responsibility at a time. Each time you handled something well, the foundation of that role grew stronger. You became the planner, the fixer, the one who remembers the details everyone else forgets. Before you know it, you are the unofficial manager of situations, the silent safety net for others. It all happens so subtly that you rarely stop to question it. It just becomes part of who you are. For a long time, this feels right. It even feels good. Being the responsible one gives you a sense of control in a world that can often feel chaotic. When you handle a problem, you ensure it's done correctly. You don't have to worry about someone else dropping the ball. This provides a deep sense of security. It's comforting to know that if you oversee it, it will be okay. This feeling of control is a powerful motivator. It can make the extra effort feel worthwhile. On top of that, society praises dependability. You are seen as strong, capable, and trustworthy. People admire you for your ability to manage so much. They thank you for taking charge. This validation feels good. It reinforces the idea that you're doing something important, something valuable. Your identity starts to merge with this role. You are the one who handles things. It becomes a source of pride, a core part of how you see yourself and how others see you. You might even find that you enjoy the challenge. Solving complex problems, organizing chaos, and supporting others can be incredibly fulfilling. It gives you a clear purpose. When people depend on you, you feel needed. And feeling needed is a fundamental human desire. So, in the beginning, the burden doesn't feel like a burden at all. It feels like strength. It feels like purpose. It feels like your contribution to the world. You rarely question it because the rewards, control, praise, and a solid identity seem to outweigh the effort. It's a role that makes sense. A role that feels earned. The weight of it all is still manageable, and the satisfaction it brings is undeniable. But what actually happens over time is a different story. The positive reinforcement starts to fade into the background, replaced by a quiet, persistent pressure. The role that once felt empowering begins to feel heavy. The first thing to erode is your emotional energy. Being constantly vigilant, always anticipating the next problem, is exhausting. It's a low-grade, chronic stress that hums beneath the surface of your daily life. You're always on, even when you're supposed to be resting. The mental checklists never disappear. This quiet fatigue is different from normal tiredness. It's a deep weariness that sleep doesn't always fix. Then, the nature of the support you receive changes. People are used to you being the provider of support, not the recipient. They see you as so capable that it doesn't occur to them you might need help too. The calls you get are about their problems, their needs. Fewer people call just to ask how you are. You become needed more than you are understood. The conversations are transactional. They need a solution, and you are the source. This isn't malicious on their part. It's a dynamic that you helped create. But the result is a growing sense of being a resource rather than a person. The weight of responsibility doesn't break you suddenly with a dramatic snap. It wears you down quietly, invisibly, day after day. It's the slow erosion of your own well-being, happening so gradually that you almost don't notice it until you feel a profound sense of isolation. Even when surrounded by people who rely on you, This slow transformation has a long-term effect on your identity. The very role that once gave you a sense of strength starts to build walls around you. After years of being the designated problem solver, asking for help begins to feel unnatural. It feels like a failure. Your identity is so tied to being the capable one that admitting you can handle something feels like admitting you are not who you supposed to be. There's a fear that if you show a moment of weakness, the entire structure you've built will collapse. So you keep going, pushing through the exhaustion because the alternative seems worse. Stepping back also feels like a failure. If you decide to let a problem go unresolved, or let someone else handle it less effectively, it can trigger a deep sense of guilt. You feel you are letting people down. You've trained yourself and others to believe that your intervention is necessary for a good outcome. The idea of intentionally not stepping in feels irresponsible. This is the paradox of the responsible one. The strength that once defined you now confines you. It turns into isolation. You become the silent observer of your own life, managing it from a distance but rarely allowing yourself to fully participate in it. You're too busy making sure everything runs smoothly for everyone else. The person you are outside of your responsibilities starts to fade. Your own needs, your own desires, your own moments of spontaneity get postponed indefinitely. They become secondary to the needs of the group. The strength that was once a source of pride becomes a quiet, lonely cage. You are surrounded by people, yet you carry the weight alone, because asking for help feels like a betrayal of the very identity you worked so hard to build. Being responsible isn't a flaw. It's a quality that can build trust and create stability. The problem isn't the responsibility itself. It's what gets lost when it's never shared. It's the quiet erosion of self that happens when you're always the one holding everything together, with no one holding you. Thank you for watching.